guys, it's Kirsti. Welcome back to another week of Segue Magic. This week we are talking about our favourite fictional animals or creatures. I want to get all the dogs out of the way first because I love the crap out of basically any dog on the planet, and so when it comes to fictional animals, obviously there are a lot of dogs on my list, so I'm going to talk about them en masse. Number 1, Zero from The Nightmare Before Christmas. I love the crap out of that little ghost dog. He is adorable and I really want to get the Pop Funko for him because he's just the cutest thing of ever. 2, Lucky or Pizza Dog from Matt Fraction's Hawkeye. I love the crap out of that dog, and we actually get an entire issue from Pizza Dog's perspective, and that is freaking great. Number 3, K9 from Doctor Who. I don't know if he entirely counts as a dog, seeing as like he's a robot and all, but I figure the 10th Doctor refers to him as a dog, so therefore it counts. He is just really freaking sassy, and I love that little shit. Number 4, Gaspode from Terry Pratchett's Discworld series. Gaspode first turns up in moving pictures, but he recurs throughout the series, and Gaspode is a dog who spent a lot of time living around the Unseen University and absorbing magic, so he is a dog who can talk. But nobody wants to accept the fact that this dog can talk, so their brains just sort of tune out this weird little voice that they can hear, and when instead of actually barking, he just sits there and goes bark, bark, they're like, well, my brain must have heard that wrong and processes it differently. So there is this one very great scene, and I cannot remember which Discworld book it's in, but there's a really great scene where like somebody kicks Gaspode, and Gaspode runs and hides under a table, and he just sits there and he goes, "Hey mister, you've got a really prickly bottom. Prickle, 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 prickle." And finally, in terms of dogs, we have Dog from Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. Dog is a hellhound who is sent to watch over the Antichrist as a child, but because the Antichrist doesn't know that he's the Antichrist, he just expects to see a dog, and so Dog goes from being this huge hulking hellhound to basically being like, you know, a little yappy Jack Russell. And he's really great. I really love Dog. Moving on from fictional dogs to like all of the other things. Let's start with a fictional cat of sorts, and that is Mogget from the Abhorsen trilogy by Garth Nix. Mogget is technically a free magic creature that's been trapped in the form of a cat, but I'm counting him as a cat. Let's talk Harry Potter. Obviously Hedwig is very high on the list, but I also, in terms of the owls, really love Pigwidgeon because it's such a stupid name and he's just this adorable little fluff who flies around being stupid. I also love Buckbeak and hippogriffs in general, but the standout for me, I think, in Harry Potter is the dragons. I really freaking love dragons, and the dragons in Harry Potter are no exception. Moving on to another fictional dragon, basically every dragon that pops up in Naomi Novik's Temeraire series, but especially Temeraire. This series is basically the Napoleonic Wars retold with dragons, and the dragons are basically used as an air corps. But Temeraire is this dragon who doesn't really want to obey the rules so much. He wants to change the world, and this dragon who constantly questions authority, I just love that. I think it's really fucking awesome. Speaking of dragons and hippogriffs, let's talk about something else from that ilk, and that is Buru from J. Kristoff Stormdancer. Buru is a griffin, and he is just really fucking sassy, and I love him. Only Yukiko, the main character, can hear Buru's thoughts, and so she's like, you know, constantly stuck in these situations that are like slightly romantic, and then there's Buru in the background being like, oh my fucking god, kill me now, this is not the time for this, what are you doing? And I really love him a lot. And finally, because I am a giant fucking nerd, every single dinosaur in every single Jurassic Park movie. I really love dinosaurs. I love them a lot. Clever Girl may be a standout, but only because, like, you know, I own her in plastic form. Don't forget to make your own video on the topic, post it on Saturday using the hashtag Segue Magic on Twitter and Tumblr. We will find it and put it into a roundup post. Mari, I can't wait to hear all about your favourite fictional animals and creatures. I love all your faces, and I will see you next week. Bye guys.